What if the greatest con artist in history wasn't just a master manipulator, but a ghost story brought to terrifying life? And what if the only witness to his monstrous deeds was the very person he was trying to frame? Tonight, we're diving deep into the labyrinthine genius of The Usual Suspects, a film that doesn't just twist your expectations, it obliterates them. Don't you want to know how it all ends? If you love unraveling mind-bending thrillers like this, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss another cinematic deep dive. All right, buckle up, because we're about to dissect the movie that redefined the unreliable narrator. So, we open on a scene of absolute chaos, a ship engulfed in flames in San Pedro Bay, and our hardened criminal, Dean Keaton, played with that signature gruffness by Gabriel Byrne, lying there, clearly wounded. And then, this shadowy figure, this Keyser Söze, steps out of the inferno, a silhouette of pure menace, and he just executes Keaton, just like that. And then sets a whole damn ship ablaze, leaving 27 bodies and only 2 survivors in its wake. One is Arkos Kovacs, a hospitalized Hungarian mobster with severe burns, and the other is Roger Verbal Kint, Kevin Spacey's unforgettable, seemingly meek con artist with cerebral palsy. And it's Verbal that U.S. Customs agent Dave Kujan, a relentless Chaz Palminteri, flies in from New York to interrogate. Kujan, a man who clearly has his own demons and a laser focus on Keaton, needs answers, and he believes Verbal is the key. They're holed up in this dingy, borrowed LAPD office while FBI agent Jack Baer, played by Giancarlo Esposito, is off visiting the burn victim, Kovacs. And it's here, in this tense interrogation room, that Verbal begins to spin his tale, a flashback that will pull us into the events leading up to that fiery night on the docks. 6 weeks earlier, back in New York City, we meet Keaton, a man trying to go straight, with a lawyer girlfriend, Edie, played by Susie Amos, a truly compelling character we'll get back to. He's trying to launch a restaurant business, but his past keeps catching up. And then there's Verbal, with his limp and his disabled arm, a picture of vulnerability. They, along with Michael McManus, the hot-headed Stephen Baldwin, the distinctive Benicio del Toro as Fred Fenster, and the loudmouth Kevin Pollak as Todd Hockney, find themselves in a police lineup. The irony? They're arrested as the usual suspects for a truck hijacking, a truck full of guns that none of them actually participated in. The police had nothing, absolutely nothing, and they were just hoping someone would crack. Keaton, his legitimate business plans in ruins because his investors have bailed, is bailed out by Edie. He knows he's done in New York, his reputation in tatters. So this ragtag group of career criminals, feeling unfairly targeted, decide to pull a heist, a big one, as revenge on the NYPD. And who convinces them? Believe it or not, it's Verbal. He's the one who plants the seed, who orchestrates this initial act of defiance. Their target? A jewel smuggler being escorted by corrupt cops. Think about that for a second. Crooked cops on the payroll, charging a few $100 a mile to move illegal goods. It's a twisted commentary on the system, isn't it? They pull off the heist, netting millions in emeralds, and in a stroke of pure, calculated brilliance, they get over 50 cops arrested. How? An anonymous call from Keaton to Internal Affairs, guiding them straight to the escort before the corrupt cops could even get their hands on the loot. It's a masterclass in taking down the establishment from within. But their journey doesn't end in New York. They head to California to fence the jewels, meeting a man named Redfoot, played with a sleazy charm by Peter Green. Redfoot, true to his aim, sets them up with another jewel heist, but this one goes sideways, violently. The jeweler and his bodyguards are gunned down, and the briefcase meant to hold cash contains only drugs. Uh-oh. This is where the real trouble begins. They learn that this job wasn't just random. It was arranged by a lawyer, a Mr. Kobayashi, played by the wonderfully imposing Pete Postlethwaite. And when they meet Kobayashi, the facade drops. He reveals that he arranged their arrest in New York, that his employer is the legendary, the terrifying Keyser Söze. And here's the kicker. Each of them has unknowingly stolen from Soze. Keaton, construction materials, McManus and Fenster, the same. Hockney, the truck robbery that landed them all in that lineup. And Verbal, he defrauded one of Soze's couriers out of a cool $62,000. Soze, this phantom of the underworld, is not pleased. He issues an ultimatum, raid a ship filled with Argentinian drug dealers, rivals of Soze, mind you, and destroy $91 million worth of cocaine. This would cripple Soze's competition, essentially clearing the path for his own drug empire. Their reward? The cash from the exchange. But the threat is chilling. Refuse, and Soze will destroy their families. The stakes have never been higher. Now, back to the interrogation room. Kujan is relentless, pushing Verbal. He knows Verbal's politically connected, that he'll be out on bail in 2 hours, so he's got this tight window to get the truth. He needs to understand why there was no cocaine on that ship, and more importantly, to confirm that Keaton is in fact dead. Kujan's not buying Keaton's demise. He brings up Keaton's past as a cop, a corrupt one 15 years prior, and a murder conviction he narrowly escaped by faking his own death. The witnesses, conveniently dead, someone else convicted, and Keaton, alive and well. Kujan's gut instinct is screaming that Keaton isn't gone. He's feeding Verbal pieces of his own theory, trying to provoke a reaction, and Verbal, in response, starts to weave the legend of Keyser Söze. This is where the film truly elevates itself, transforming from a heist movie into a chilling folklore.
Verbal describes Soze as a small-time drug runner who, when his own family was held hostage by Hungarian mobsters, didn't call the cops. He massacred the mobsters and their families, then vanished, becoming a ghost. From then on, he conducted business indirectly through shadowy underlings who rarely, if ever, met the man himself. Soze became an urban myth, a boogeyman that criminals whispered about to their children, a spook story. It's genius storytelling, building this aura of invincibility around Soze. Verbal continues his confession, revealing that Fenster, terrified of working for Soze, tried to flee and was killed by him. Keaton, ever the pragmatist, still doesn't believe. He vows to finish Kobayashi, convinced Soze is just a myth, a convenient excuse. But Soze, or rather, the threat of him, is very real. The gang, desperate, kidnaps Kobayashi, and they're about to kill him when he drops the bomb. He has Edie, Keaton's girlfriend, in his custody.
He proves it, and the horrifying realization dawns. Soze has eyes everywhere. Their families are all under surveillance. They have no choice but to follow orders. So they attack the ship that night. Verbal, being half crippled, is kept out of the actual assault, waiting on the dock. They kill Argentinian and Hungarian gangsters, battling their way through, only to discover no cocaine. What the hell is going on? And then an unseen assailant, moving with terrifying efficiency, heals Hockney, McManus, Keaton, and a prisoner in one of the cabins. The mysterious figure sets fire to the ship, and we see Verbal watching from his hiding place, a mixture of fear and something else in his eyes. Back in the interrogation room, Kujan, piecing it all together, believes he's got it. He deduces that Keaton is Soze. His reasoning? Arturo Marquez, a smuggler who escaped prosecution by claiming he could identify Soze, was killed on that ship. And who was Marquez's lawyer? Edie Finneran, Keaton's girlfriend, who was recently murdered. Kujan theorizes that the Argentinians were taking Marquez to sell him to Soze's Hungarian rivals, the very mobsters Soze had brutally massacred years ago. Keaton, Kujan believes, used the assault as a cover to kill Marquez himself and finally fake his own death. It's a compelling theory, almost too perfect. Verbal, exhausted, finally confesses that Keaton was behind everything, but he refuses to testify in court. And then, the twist that changes everything. Verbal's bail is posted, and he's released. He walks out, a free man, as Kujan, in a moment of dawning horror, realizes the truth. Verbal fabricated his entire story. Every detail, every character, every event, he pieced it together from random items in Rabin's cluttered office. The bulletin board, the invoices, the names on the desk. He used the environment to build his narrative. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Bear is interrogating Kovash, with a police artist creating a sketch of Soze based on Kovash's description. And out on the street, Verbal is changing. His limp gradually disappears. His supposedly disabled hand flexes, strong and capable. As Kujan races out, desperate to stop him, a fax arrives at the police station. It's the artist's facial composite of Soze. And the face? The face is uncannily like Verbal's. It's him. Roger Verbal Kent is Keyser Söze. The whole thing was a performance. He orchestrated everything, not just the events on the ship, but the entire interrogation, using Kujan's assumptions and his desire to find a tangible villain. He created the legend, then played the victim. He's a phantom, a myth, and he's walking away, free as a bird. And in a final chilling touch, he gets into a car driven by Kobayashi, the lawyer, the fixer, the loyal servant. They drive off, just moments before Kujan arrives on the scene, the fax with Soze's face clutched in his hand, the realization of his own monumental failure crashing down on him. It's a gut punch of an ending, isn't it? The brilliance of The Usual Suspects lies in its masterful construction. Every word, every glance, every seemingly insignificant detail from Verbal is a breadcrumb leading you down the wrong path. He uses his supposed disability as a shield, playing on Kujan's preconceived notions and his need for a simple, understandable narrative. Keaton becomes the perfect scapegoat, a corrupt ex-cop with a history of faking his death, exactly the kind of guy Kujan would be looking for. And the legend of Soze, Verbal crafts it himself, weaving in elements that make it terrifying and believable, a story that explains away the inexplicable. When Verbal describes Soze's brutality, he's not recounting a legend, he's subtly hinting at his own capacity for violence. The scene where he talks about Soze killing his own family, it's a chilling foreshadowing of his own ruthlessness. And the final reveal, the gradual transformation of Verbal into Soze, is a stroke of pure cinematic genius. It's not just a twist, it's a complete recontextualization of everything you've just watched. You go back through every scene, every line of dialogue, and suddenly it all clicks into place with horrifying clarity. His limp? A prop. His disabled arm? A performance. His stutter? A carefully crafted cadence. He's been playing Kujan, and by extension, us, the entire time.
The film forces you to question your own perception, to acknowledge how easily we can be manipulated by what we want to believe. Kujin wants Keaton to be Soze, and Verbal gives him exactly what he wants. It's a masterclass in misdirection. The supporting cast is phenomenal, each actor bringing their A game. Stephen Baldwin as the volatile McManus, Benicio del Toro's iconic mumbling Fenster, Kevin Pollak's surprisingly layered Hockney, and Gabriel Byrne as the conflicted Keaton all contribute to the rich tapestry of the film. Even the smaller roles, like Peter Green's Redfoot and Pete Postlethwaite's enigmatic Kobayashi, are perfectly cast and unforgettable. The direction by Bryan Singer is tight and suspenseful, and the screenplay by Christopher McQuarrie is nothing short of a masterpiece. It's a puzzle box that, once opened, reveals its true, terrifying nature. This isn't just a crime thriller, it's a philosophical exploration of identity, deception, and the power of narrative. The emotional impact is immense because by the end, you feel not just surprised, but almost complicit in the deception. You've been taken for a ride, and it's exhilarating and disturbing in equal measure. The lingering question, of course, is what happens next? We see Soze drive off with Kobayashi, the architect of his schemes. He's at the top of the criminal world, a phantom who has proven his invincibility once again. Kujin is left shattered, his career likely in tatters, his faith in his own judgment destroyed. The other survivors? Kovash presumably will either recover and face his own fate or become another ghost in Soze's wake. The implications are chilling. Soze has eliminated rivals, cemented his power, and escaped without a trace. He is, as Verbal described him, a myth made flesh. And the beauty, or perhaps the horror of it all, is that he can do it all again. The Usual Suspects is more than just a movie. It's an experience, a challenge to your intellect, and a testament to a truly unforgettable story. It's a film that rewards rewatching, revealing new layers and subtle clues with every viewing. You start to notice Verbal's subtle mannerisms, the way he carefully constructs his sentences, the almost imperceptible shifts in his demeanor. It's a performance that deserves every accolade it received. So, what did you think of this twisty masterpiece? Did it blow your mind the first time you saw it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're looking for more in-depth movie explanations and analysis, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We've got plenty more cinematic journeys to embark on together.